Did we get word back to play? You win.
He's a win, Vernon.
No? Alright, clear's fired. Alright. Your reminder of how much I absolutely hate talking in front of people. Hi. Okay. So this is we're about to start with the first of our on-site interviews for the full-time musical theater faculty line. Don is the first of 4. We have a handful of people coming in next week and the following week. The process is that each candidate will do a master class. This is the master class. And there's an opportunity to do a more informal thing with a pizza lunch, which is today at noon. Remind all of your classmates to come and have free pizza and conversation with Don.
Is it in here or part of it?
It's in here.
Okay.
In this case, you know Don, obviously, but that part of this is looking at Don in terms of what it's like to work with him, and in terms of what the future might be if he were a permanent part of our faculty. As a reminder of what Don's bringing to the table, a bit of his bio. He's a Michigan native. He has a 20-year career in New York that includes 3 Broadway shows. That's Les Mis, the original production, the original production of the Pirate Queen, and the Les Mis revival. He's also done 3 Broadway national tours. That's Tommy, which is kind of cool. Will Rogers Follies and Les Miserables, and a whole bunch of regional credits, including Broadway Las Vegas production of Mamma Mia, which gives him more national tours and more Broadway shows than I have, and so I find that very impressive. He's also directed and or choreographed 30 productions, from professional work in New York to college and stage. And for 8 years, I'm going to read this verbatim, Don was part of the nation's premier corporate entertainment company, Unexpected Boys Entertainment, where he served as entertainment director and concert performer. He helped develop and perform in shows that took him across the United States, Canada, as well as Iceland, other parts of Europe. I like that Iceland is singled out because it's awesome.
It's cool there.
Right. It's a little bit far away and it's phenomenally cool. Mexico, the Caribbean, Vietnam, and China. Received his BFA from musical theater from Western, but he's here because we're better. And Don is a member of Actors Equity and AFTRA, which means
American Federation of TV and Radio Artists.
there you go.
Yeah. Great. Hello. So, I'm Don Brewer. You all know me, and that's a great introduction. So thank you, Jeremy. But I'm really happy to be here. So, who is working today? 1, 2, we have 4 of you, right? Okay, so 4 of you come down here. Just set your books down here. I'll talk to you a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. Yeah, just set your books down here. This will be very interactive for all of you, even when you're not working. Great. So, alright, great. Come sit. Let me move this. Let's make a tiny circle on the floor. Go ahead and sit. Sit here so they can video me properly. Alright, cool. So, we're going to focus on audition technique for musical theater today. And I think auditioning is its own separate art form as opposed to performing in a musical. It's very different. You're taking something completely out of context and you're going in, and let's be honest, you're kind of selling yourself to them, right? So, in order to make this a safe workspace, because we're going to give each other feedback as well, I want to go around, and normally I do introductions, but we all know each other, so that's fine. Tell me something that maybe nobody else knows about yourself that you think you can trust us with. And I will start. When I was in high school, I played basketball, and you may have already heard this if you did anything in the song. And my ex-girlfriend was driving down the road, and I was practicing basketball in my front yard, and I thought, oh, wouldn't that look really cool if I dunked the basketball? as she's driving by, and because she dumped me and broke my heart, and I had a really old basketball hoop, and so I went up to do it, and I hung on the rim, yet I kept going into the front yard. I felt something hit my head, I heard tires screech, and then I felt a net go across my head. What I'd done is I just broken my really old backboard. It had hit my head, and I had the net over my face in my front yard while her and all her friends sat there screaming with laughter as they waved goodbye. So, that is a highly embarrassing moment, and when I need to think of embarrassment as an actor, or shame, or something like that, I think of that. And especially now that I can laugh about it and not cringe. So Emily. And it could be anything as simple as what your middle name is if you don't like it. We don't have to get terribly personal.
I think it was like my junior year of high school. I had a dream that I got up to go to the bathroom, and I woke up and I had peed the bed.
All right, there you go. Now it's about Emily. Well done.
I used to have, well, speaking of dreams, I used to have this recurring dream where I was like, there's this ginormous spider, and I used to like play this game where I was like on a sidewalk, but if I like stepped on the grass, the spider could get me. And so I'd like tease it and put my foot on the grass, and then like somehow in my dream I fell on the grass and couldn't move, and then the spider ate me. And I had that dream like 10 times during like a 5-year period.
Oh, all right. So you love spiders.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, speaking of dreams, I am a very avid sleepwalker. I sleepwalk a lot. So when I'm gonna say younger than I actually was, when I was 9, I had a dream that I went to the bathroom, and I was like, oh, this is cool. So I got up, and I didn't pee the bed or anything, so I was like, oh, okay, I guess I didn't sleepwalk last night. And my mom was like, Johnny, did you pee in the cabinets last night? And I peed in the bathroom cabinet.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing.
Is that embarrassing enough?
That's a good one. Thank you for that. Noah.
I don't know if I can top that.
I don't think you should try.
I don't know. The most embarrassing thing when I was playing the Cat and Cinderella freshman year, I think I ripped through like 2 bodysuits or whatever, and like the first time was like right in front of my director, and then she told nobody, but like that's the first time I've actually told anybody that.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you for sharing.
All that's on video.
Good. And the point of doing that is we're going to give each other feedback. Because what's going to happen is we're going to come in and do an audition, and we're going to have a beginning, middle, and end. Let me go back a little bit. I think an audition is a story. It has a beginning, has a middle, and an end. The beginning is right when you hit that door. The middle is when you perform, and the end is as you're leaving. And I don't want you to think of it as a performance, but just you being your best self that whole time. And we'll give each other feedback and talk about it and things that could be better, things we liked, but the criticism should definitely be constructive. It should never be, and I say this in every class I teach, it should never be, I don't like that song, it's not good. That doesn't help anybody. A better way to say that is, that song's might not work for you. Maybe a better choice is this or that. That's just an example of that. So, you need to go early, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then you're going to be the guinea pig in this process, which is never fun or fun. So, before we start, I'll give one question. What do you think the most overriding thing the people you're auditioning for, what do you think, once you leave the room, what do you want to have in their heads? What's the thought they want about you as you leave? About the whole process when you auditioned? Anybody? Go for it.
Like you're a good person to work with?
Exactly. It could be, like, yes, you want to sound good. Yes, you want to seem personal. But what you want to have them think is, I want to work with that person. Because especially when the director's in the room and the choreographer and the producer, like, yeah, I want to spend almost all my time with them for the next 8 weeks, or whatever that process is. I know people who are incredibly talented who don't audition well, and they don't work that much. And it's unfortunate, but it's a technique within itself. So, that said, let's get to work. So, Sophia, I'm gonna have you go out of the room, and we're gonna work as the production team.
Okay.
And when you go into audition room, it can be very different. Some rooms are very noisy, some rooms are very quiet, some rooms are very friendly, some rooms are intimidating. You don't really know what you're gonna walk into. So, would another student like to be our monitor today? All right, you're on.
Am I just bringing in more time?
Like a normal audition, go outside with your book, and the monitor will let you in. Great, so you guys. So, Antonio. When it is time, I'll tell you to let her in. Awesome, okay? So, here's the space. Pull forward chairs behind the table. Perfect, come sit back here. Yeah. All right, great. So, because she's a guinea pig, we'll be a friendly room and attentive to her, okay? Excellent. So, after she's done singing, Emily, let's say you're our choreographer, ask her to rate herself as a mover on a scale from 1 to 10. 10 being diva dancer. Okay, great. We'll do it to that. Okay, monitor, you can let her in. Hi there, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Great, thanks. What are you going to be singing today?
I will be singing Will He Like Me from She Loves Me.
Great.
Thank you. Will he like me when we meet?
the very beginning. How was her entrance, you guys? What did you think? Was she personable? Was she friendly? Yeah, that was actually a great entrance. You came in and you greeted the table. That's important, I think. When you come in, don't ever be anxious like, this is sacred space, I'm entering a place that's very dangerous and scary. No, this is your space now. They've brought you in, so own the space, and you did. Even if they're really chatty or really quiet, they seem offer a greeting. Just come in however you would greet them. Like for me, Don, I'm like, hey, how you guys doing today? And if they engage you, stop. And maybe they'll want to ask you questions. I've been to auditions before where they stop and we'll have a 2-minute conversation. Gauge their reaction. If they're in a hurry, and they say, hey, how you doing? Like, great, onto the piano. You did that. That was excellent. Now, here's an interesting question. In an audition like this, and it's not like MWTAs where they tell you to slate. If this is an audition, let's say in Chicago or New York, and they've got your headshot resume and it's an open call, what do you think about slating? What do you think you need to do? Or not at all? I say not at all, unless otherwise specified. If they want to know what you're singing beforehand, they'll ask you. If they don't know your name, they're confused on the headshot resume, they'll ask you. They've got it right in front of them. They really do. The most important thing, and you did this, I asked you what you were singing beforehand, and that was great. Tell me, sometimes we will, sometimes they're not. Over the piano, come back out, you're ready to go. Let them know, and you engage. And you did that. That was fantastic. Whispering at the piano, which you did. What do you guys think about that? No, you don't need to. It's a business interview. Talk like Sophia. Again, unless they seem to be in heated conversation about something, then, hey, how you doing today? I'm going to be doing this, blah, blah, blah. There's no need to be, no. Again, no need. This is an interview, and you're putting on your best self. So how was she with her music over here? I tried to listen. Did she tell you where to start, middle, and end?
We just said it was like the full song, so I just like wrote the full song.
Got it. I think what's important, even when you're doing the full song, let them know. You'll have some accompanist, sometimes I've had it happen before I set my music. I start, I know, and I try to give my tempo, I know, that'll happen. Sometimes you'll get a surly piano player, lucky Laura's not. So, let them know where you start. Even if it's the very beginning and the very end and you don't have any repeats at all, let them know that. Say I'm just starting at the beginning, going straight through to the end, I have a retard here, I hold here, and give them your tempo. Did she give you tempo?
No, because it starts without a tempo, so
Got it.
I just said I'll follow you, and she said great.
Perfect. I think always offer up a tempo though.
Okay.
That's the most important thing, and make sure you don't snap, this is my tempo. That can look aggressive. I just hit your body, and also when you're hitting your body, hum your rhythm, okay? Will he like me? That'll give them a sense, okay? Always do it, it's important. You don't know how many times I've gone into auditions and they play double time or way under. That was great. Okay, we'll get to the meat and bones of your song too. Let's go back. How about when she left the room? How was that? How was her answer about being a mover? Good. It was personal, it was honest. And always you were positive about it. Always be positive. When they ask you that, even if you're not a mover, and let's say you rate yourself as a 3, you could just say 3, working on being a 4. Just be fun about it. Be fun. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses, but have a good sense of humor about your weaknesses. Okay. How was it when she left? Great. You were a great candidate. That was perfect. It was personable. Okay. Now let's go back here and let's talk a little bit about your song. How was her moment before? We've talked about moment before in class. It was great. You engaged right away. And that's important, especially in songs yours I don't think did that have long introductions. Once you hit the piano player, now you're ready to go, you're in. You're telling your story, you're singing to a person, okay? That said, who are you singing to in this song?
I am singing to myself,
Yes.
but in my head I'm singing to my best friend.
Got it. Okay. In your head you're singing to your best friend. Is that, are you picturing your best friend back there? Okay, we can work with that. That's great, because when you're taking a song out of context like this, you do not need to follow the story of the musical or whatever else you're doing. You need to make it personable for you. This is your own little show, an audition, okay? So you have a specific best friend. Do you have a question that's launching you in? Is she asking you a question, or are you coming out of a moment?
Yeah, she's like, are you nervous about your big date tonight? And so we're just kind of talking about like me going through like how I'm feeling about it.
Okay.
Which is the song, yeah. So she's
Good.
like, how are you feeling about your date?
Okay, your person looks specific, I'm just making sure. One big thing, you're asking this question over and over, will he like me, will he like me? It never really looked to me like you were actually asking the question.
Okay.
It looked like you had this all pre-planned. You need to discover those questions in the moment.
Okay.
Okay, so you're really having a conversation with her like, oh, is he gonna like me? I'm really nervous about this.
Yeah.
And this repeats, will he like me, quite a bit. We need to inform those differently.
Okay.
Maybe one time you're excited, oh, I think he will like me. Another time like, oh, I really don't think he's gonna like me.
Okay. Yeah.
Discover all these things you're saying right in the moment. Is your friend really tall?
I think it's just because it's so high with the risers. I think like,
Got it.
like up there.
Okay, so important in auditions too, there's a couple different schools of thought on this. I say, look at your own eye height,
Yeah.
okay, or directly over their heads, or even if you're a little shorter, look in between them.
Okay.
I generally say, unless it's a song where you're gonna get some comic value out of picking out one person and singing directly to them, don't do it.
Yeah.
It'll make them generally uncomfortable. But yeah, this person looked very tall. Let's just
Yeah.
bring your eye down, that's all. Okay, going back to does he like me? Do you think he likes you?
Yes.
And is this a specific person you're singing about?
Yes.
Okay, so you do think he likes you.
Yes.
Do you have any apprehension that maybe he doesn't? Are you afraid
Yeah,
he
just
doesn't?
because it's like we've been said, like it's like basically like, oh, we've been texting and like Snapchatting, but like when we're in person, is there gonna be that spark? Just to make it a little more modern, because it's letters, but
No, that's fine. I think
Yeah.
you can make it modern.
You know,
Absolutely. They
like
might-
when you meet someone online and you're like, oh, and I have to meet them in person, are they gonna like, am I gonna be the person that they actually like? Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, maybe use those specific moments,
Okay.
like talking online.
Yeah.
Okay? Think about specific moments where, oh, I think I said the wrong thing.
Okay.
Okay, think about that. All right, from you guys, what'd you see? Anything to offer up? Positive reinforcement is
I
great
thought
too.
it was great.
Thank you.
I especially love the moments when you were like free with the tempo,
Mm-hmm.
like offering different inflection rather than like just what's written on the page. That was really good.
Absolutely, yeah. The aspects of conversational singing you brought to this, even though it's a legit piece, was very nice.
Thank you.
Kevin? Just physically the transitions between like, you know, some of the emotions that you're trying to portray seem natural to me, so.
Thank you.
Okay, great. All that said, let's try it one more time.
Okay.
With those things in mind with the song.
Will he like me when we meet? Will the shy and quiet girl he's going to see be the girl that he's imagined me to be? Will he like me? Will he like the girl he sees? If he doesn't, will he know enough to know that there's more to me than I may always show? Will he like me? Will he know that there's a world of love waiting to warm him? How I'm hoping that his eyes and ears won't misinform him. Will he like me? Who can say? How I wish that we could meet another day. It's absurd for me to carry on this way. I'll try not to. Will he like me? He's just got to. When I am in my room alone and I write, thoughts come
Nice job. Very
Thank
nice. Okay, for you guys, was that more interesting to watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were really asking the questions, and as you went
Yeah.
on, I think it informed it a lot more.
Mhm.
One thing I noticed, he's just got to.
Yeah.
That's important. Put importance on that.
Okay.
Like, 'cause that's a very
Yeah.
big statement you're making. Like, you're everything riding on this.
Mhm.
And like anything else in musical theater, when you sing, the stakes are high because that's where the story's taken us, where the emotion can go nowhere else. We have to sing about it.
Mhm.
Stakes are automatically high.
Yeah.
So let them be that high. That was great.
Thank you.
One more thing before I let you off the hook. Be
Mhm.
careful of soprano arms in this.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of that conducting yourself. You can be
Mhm.
natural. A song like
Okay.
this, it's okay to be still and tell the story in your face.
Mhm.
One vocal thing. Are you running out of air at the very end?
Yeah, I don't like. I am trying not to take a breath in that phrase, but I'm super phlegmy, so it just like.
What happens if you do take a breath in that phrase? Like, what is the phrasing of it?
It's just like, will he? I guess I could take a breath before like me. It's just yeah. For me, it's more phlegm right now. That's like.
Is it?
stopping me.
Okay.
No.
Maybe we're in your technique or coaching or something.
Mhm.
Work on that.
Yeah.
Because it sounds so free and spinny until the very end, and then you just run out of air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you sound great. Great job, Sophia.
Thank you.
Okay, come up and sit. Yay. All right. Who wants to go next? Anyone? 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 Okay, Noah, thanks for volunteering. Why is this? I don't know.
Okay.
All right, go on and head out of the room, Noah.
Okay.
We still have our monitor.
Pardon?
Oh yeah, go ahead and
I'll
head
give you.
Okay, let's have some fun with Noah. So, when you monitor, when you go out, say the production team wants you to cut it down to 32 bars. Okay? This is a little bit cruel to do to a freshman. So tell them to cut it down to 32 bars, okay?
Okay.
That said, let's be a really friendly route for him, okay? And to switch up the focus, because he's not gonna know, you're our director, John. I'm your assistant, okay? So when he comes in, just give him a greeting. He says hello, just give him a greeting. Hi, how are you today? Okay, excellent, okay. Great, perfect. All right, let's do it.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
I would stand beside her and I'd say, I'm proud to be your father, 'cause you work so much harder, and you were so much smarter than I was at your age. And I always knew that she would fly away, that she was gonna change the world someday. that my family can't succeed. I will do what it takes. They'll have everything they need. Or all my work, all my life, everything I've sacrificed will have been useless. Great job, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Noah, come on back. Good job. All right, how'd you like that curveball?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Okay, so let me ask you this: do you have cuts of your songs?
The song that I did pick, no, I did not.
Okay, great, and that's okay for now.
Yeah.
But every song you have in your book, you should know and have identified a 16-bar cut and a 32-bar cut. Definitely a 16. I did 32 to give you a little more time, but generally speaking, that'll happen. And you should always have a 16-bar cut, and you'll get to that in acting the song. So, know that. Also, how do you guys think about how long you spent at the piano?
Too long,
It was-
man.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. And I think part of that was the cut.
Yeah.
But when you go over there, you need to know exactly what you're gonna say, exactly how you're gonna tell them how you're doing your song, and go back. And you never wanna go back to the piano.
Exactly. I know it's like, oh, and there I go.
Unless they ask you to come back and they're like, oh, I got a question, that's just me. Like, oh, I forgot something. Make sure you get it out all right there.
Yeah.
All right, how did Noah look when he walked in? Did he look super excited to be in this audition process? Did you know where else he'd like to be? No! You look like you're going to the dentist. Okay. So even if you're having the worst day ever, and it'll happen, you'll be in a show, you'll be going to auditions, and you're having the worst day, you've got to leave it outside the room. You
Okay.
have to leave it outside. Even if you're exhausted, you've got to leave it outside the room. Okay, so, there's that. The cuts moving forward. Okay, who are you singing to?
In my context, I just kind of have been using my parents just because it's like, it's kind of just like the whole song's like not being, like disappointed, like one with yourself, and also just being able to, prove to everyone else that you can be sufficient, you can, be able to take care of your own and take care of others. That's something that I'm trying to make sure that I can, prove to my parents, like, I can be on my own here, I can be my own individual and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I've been keeping in mind, and it's just kind of like using my parents like as that emotional drive, I guess, for the song.
Got it. Are you seeing your parents clearly there? Are you actually having a conversation with them?
I don't think that it was as clear as I wanted to be because I
Be
definitely
clear, yeah.
shifted my focus over, and it was like.
And we'll talk
that's
about
what
that
made it.
next. So, because one thing you said is I kind of am thinking about my parents maybe. In this context, it's never kind of, it's never sort of, it's definite. I'm
It's
definitely talking to my parents.
Okay.
And one thing we should talk about in this type of setting, there's simplify it for yourself. When you're doing an audition song, you can be singing to yourself, you can be singing to a friend, you can be singing to a group, or a higher power, God. Those are the 4 basic things you could be singing about. Start there. So you're singing to other person.
Yeah.
Like not a friend, but your parents. Have a very specific conversation with them. That'll help with your eye focus, because right now it's all over.
Yeah.
Also, have you guys talked about types yet in acting the song in yours?
No.
Okay. Your type is very easy to identify. Let's be honest, what are you? You're a leading man.
Yeah.
And so you don't need to stammer up, just you're up there. Use that. There's a power in stillness too, and telling the story on your face, especially in this.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty intense moment, because tell me the story of the song really briefly.
I thought that like this was like part where his daughter's like finally home and he's not able to take care of his situation and stuff. It's been a while since I've like actually read over the show and stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
why is he not able to take care of his situations of money?
Yeah.
Okay, and he probably feels great shame over that. So let's see that shame. This is an internal struggle. Like that's a terrible feeling as a parent to think, I can't take care of my own, I can't take care of my child. Is he trying to find a solution?
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And is that what you're asking your parent, for in this context, is that what you're asking for?
Yeah.
To help find a solution? So it needs to look like that. You want help, you are asking for help. You're begging them for help. So think of it that way. you guys have anything you noticed specifically?
I think you covered it, yeah.
Okay. So, I'm gonna have you try the whole process again.
Okay, cool.
So, you know your cut now?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. So, and even if you're having a bad day, you're having the best day ever when you walk in here, okay? And maybe we'll give you a different scenario. Okay, so head on out. Okay, great. Let's be really friendly. Let's have Emily, why don't you be the director? And this will happen when he comes into the room. Why don't you walk up and shake his hand, ask him how he's doing?
Okay.
Yeah, what's going on in his life? Just have a brief conversation and say, head over to the piano, okay? Great. Okay, we can let him in. And tell him again, just so we can repeat the whole process, we're cutting it down to 32 bars.
Hi there.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, how are you doing today? Did you have a good drive over here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
amazing.
okay.
Great, what are you singing today?
I was singing a new tune for Midnights.
Great.
And I would stand beside her and I'd say, I'm proud to be your father, 'cause you work so much harder, and you were so much smarter than I was at your age. And I always knew that she would fly away, that she was gonna change the world someday. I will not be the reason that my family can't succeed. I will do what it takes. They'll have everything they need. For all my work, all my life, everything I've sacrificed will have been useless.
Excellent, thank you very much. Great job, Noah, come back. All right, good work. So, one big thing, we threw another curveball at you with a overzealous director jumping up and saying hello to you. You look like you couldn't get to the piano fast enough. No, that's fine, stop, actually, stop and talk to her. That's fine, she wanted to engage with you, but you were like, I do not want to engage with you. So, please stop, I just want to say.
Alright, cool.
So, yeah, stop and talk, just stop and talk.
Yeah.
Again, you don't need to whisper at the piano. You can just talk, but that was much more efficient. Well done. One thing beforehand. You don't have a moment before. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, it's just kind of just like straight in.
Yeah, so what is your first lyric?
Oh. And wait. And I would sit beside her and I'd say, I'm proud to be your father because you work so
Okay.
much hard. Yeah.
All right. A great way to do it is the person, your parents that you're singing to, maybe they ask you a question. Like, and it can be a very general question, but it'll launch you into the action, like, what is bothering you? Okay? You've got to have that moment before, because right now it looks like you look at the piano and you're like, I'm waiting until I have my lyric and then I engage. You got to engage right away. Okay, you got to get in there right away. Your stillness was much, much better. But right now what it's lacking is specifics. You've got the overall kind of acting beat in this, which is like, I'm having a problem, but you've got to discover these problems. Like, you didn't pre-plan this speech, you're having a conversation, you're like, I am failing as a father, and this is why. Like, I have worked so hard in my life, and it's like, the anxiety of that, it's dragging you apart. Right now it looks really easy for you to say this. These are hard things to say, and you need to make them look hard, okay? So, going back, this is a great song for you, so going back, break down your acting beats, know exactly what you're talking about. I would say subtext to this all over the place to make it relatable for you. because you're obviously a young man. You don't have a daughter that went off and you're failing her, but you've got to replace that. Okay. What in your life, and we don't need to know this is your business, are you afraid that you might be failing at? Replace it for that. Yeah, you don't need to tell us.
Okay.
That's you. So text it for yourself. That's actor secrets you can keep to yourself.
Yeah.
But good work.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. What? You're an upperclassman. What are you doing?
Let me sit.
That's not the right key?
She up?
No, I'm just.
Okay, so guys, listen up. We're gonna be a chatty table and not really pay much attention to her at all. It's the end of the day, we're hungry, we're talking about where we wanna go eat, okay? And if she engages us, that's fine, but let's see how she handles that. I think we can respond, but let's see if she even stops and says anything to us. We're not, if she doesn't say a word to us, that's fine. And also, let's make her wait, because this will happen to you guys too, where they'll keep talking and talking, and you're standing there waiting to sing. Let's see how she reacts to that. Okay, great. Okay, we're ready. So anyway, I'm starved. You started? Yeah, what are you guys in the mood for?
I really want Chipotle.
You have Chipotle every day.
How do you know that about
You don't
Hi.
have dinner. Oh, hey, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks for coming in. I know we can do Chipotle kind of tomorrow.
You get a knife for me?
No.
Well, if you get this position, you're gonna.
Oh, there we go. How do you feel about Chipotle?
You know what kind of guy.
I don't know.
You know what?
Yeah.
I've had Chipotle too many times. Just kind of sick of it.
I would do anything with Chipotle.
What do you think about the last game? How do you think we did? Great. Call him back, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have pretty well.
I said you better than this girl.
Oh, that's really cool.
Make it work, make it easy, make it clever, crafted into pieces. Make it sweet, crimp the edges, or make it sour and serve with lemon wedges. Even doubt can be delicious, and it washes off of all the dirty dishes. When it's done, right inside, it's on someone else's plate for a while. Place it on a spread, and then I'll slice it. Serve my worries away. Fix this, I can twist it into a sugar batter. Other pieces, never mind what's underneath it. I have done it before. I'll make me I learned that from you, Mama. It's amazing what baking can do. Make it up and surprise them. Tell them all my secrets, but disguise them so they dance on the tongues. The very people that their secrets from make it soon. Make it better never last forever. Make it so it fits. Even this. Even now, even as the walls go tumbling down, even as we can't stop remembering how every door we ever made, we never once worked out. One thing I never got
months?
I'm in school
Oh, you are? Okay. When did you graduate?
next year.
Next year? Okay, great. Well, thanks for coming in. Good job. That was a very honest answer.
I was like,
Once you get out into the world, if you get that question, you can set it there. You're on the spot right now.
oh yeah.
When you get asked that question, unless you are locked into another performing contract that you absolutely can't get out of if you're waiting tables or whatever else, the answer should never be, well, I'm waiting tables, this and that. Your answer is, I'm wide open.
Okay.
Because you can always go back to your table waiting job, okay? So, but overall, great job. How was her moment before? Did she engage us right away with her storytelling? I think so, yes. I think so. Who are you singing to?
Well, I'm singing to myself,
Yes.
but then there are also those moments where like I'm talking to my mom.
Your mom, yes.
Yeah.
So your mom isn't actually there, but
Yeah.
like you're speaking out loud to your mother who's
Yeah.
not there. Yeah, and that seems pretty clear to me. One thing, and it was mostly at the top of the song, even though the way the show is written, it's like folksy, like light rockish. Watch your diction.
Okay.
I just was having trouble understanding some of the words from you, and I normally don't. So just watch that. But it was towards the end, I didn't have a problem with it. It was mostly towards the beginning. I thought your storytelling overall was great. Give me a brief synopsis of this story for you, Emily.
So like my personalized version of it.
Sure.
Okay. Basically, my baking is like what I'm doing like here at school. And so like life is crazy sometimes, and then sometimes the things that I do at school add to the chaos, but sometimes it takes away the chaos and it allows me to like find my escape from like the outside.
So it gives you joy.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yes.
okay, so that's one thing that's missing a little bit. Explore the joy of it a little
Okay.
more. Okay? Add that layer on. So those moments where it does bring you relief and does bring you joy, let that shine through. Like the confusion and the angst and everything else, that's shining through really well. But explore that. Go on, continue telling your story. Was that about it?
Well, and then sometimes like towards the end of the song, when life gets like too crazy, and then sometimes I'm just like, dang, like I just have to like bake it so I'm making it sometimes, but that's okay too, because like it'll all be worth it in the end.
It will be. So I think find strength in the end too.
Okay.
Like that's one thing. Like it seemed a little bit one level in the plateau towards the end. Really take a stand at the end. Like be strong there. You've made the decision to be strong. Okay, you riff a bit in this song. Riffing in musical theater is always an interesting thing to explore from a storytelling point of view. There's a reason when you riff. It can't just be sound. And I'm going to be really nitpicky with you. You did have an opinion on it, but one time it seemed like it came out of joy, and it's like you're just so happy. It's like an exclamation of joy. Okay, and also riffing sometimes can be out of sorrow too. You need to explore that a little bit more. Because right now you just went a little blank on the riff, like, no, I'm gonna sing these notes, I sound real good. You never wanna go there. It has to be a part of the story. It has to be motivated for some reason. And that's a whole other lesson about singing rock in music theater settings, motivating all those riffs. Can we just take a cut of this from like the middle to the end? And just see that? I wanna see you explore the joy a little bit. Can that work? Yeah, go over, work something out with Laura.
I'm an idiot. I don't know if I got it.
Even if you do like the last 16, even if you do the last 16 or 32 bars, that's fine. Why don't we go about it that way? Just find an easy place to get in.
And then just if you just play right there, and then I'll come in on the word even this, and I'll just sing the rest of the song. Even this, even now, even as the walls come tumbling down, even as we can't stop remembering how every door we ever made, we never once walked out. One thing
for me. How did that feel?
Yeah, it felt like.
Felt better. Well, it felt energized. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, I could feel the joy. That was great.
Woo.
Okay, good job, Emily. All right. Go ahead That's a good song. Yeah. That's a keeper. Okay, we're gonna have fun with John. Let's rearrange our room. So audition table's gonna be over here. And sometimes you just go, go ahead and bring over some chairs. Bring over 3 chairs. Let's just push our piano this way. Okay, because sometimes when we go to an audition space and they will set up the room not like it has been the last time, and you don't get a preview of what the room will look like. Do you know how many songs any of you John has in his book? Did he just bring the one?
I have no idea.
Hmm.
I have no idea. He probably has at least 3 or 4 in there.
Oh, let's not be
He's
that
gotta
mean.
have at least 3 or 4.
Let's just let him in.
Do it, Don.
That's
Do
for
it.
another lesson.
He's nervous
Let's
enough,
let
I
him
think.
in. I almost did that. We'll do that another day. Let's just be friendly. Hey, how are you? Good, good. Hey, you're in school right now at Oakland, right?
Yes.
Wow, I used to wait tables with Karen Sheridan. Is she still there? Yeah. Yeah, how's she doing?
Oh, she's great.
Excellent. Great. All right, thanks so much. Go good. Oh, what are you singing, by the way?
Oh, I'm singing Go the Distance from Hercules.
Oh, excellent. Good.
I know, yeah. And then over here, yes, and then we're gonna go in here. Just here, that part. Thank you.
John, do you move well?
Yeah, I'd say I move pretty well.
Pretty well?
I mean, on a good day.
Okay, do you have any tap?
Any tab? I wish.
You wish? Okay. All right, thank you so much. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day. Great job, John.
I heard you say in the hall, okay, we're gonna mess with them. I was like, oh.
Actually, I didn't notice you reacting poorly to the change in room space at all.
Oh,
Right? No. Did you guys notice anything?
No.
You seemed like it didn't throw you. That was great.
Thanks.
And the point of that, though, is I've walked into it before. Like, I auditioned all the time at a place called Pearl Studios, and one time I walked into a room I've been in a million times, and the room was backwards, and I was like, oh, why did you do this? So just know,
Yeah.
like, be ready for anything.
Okay.
This is a great question. You did well with it. Do you think it matters what side of the piano you go to?
Ooh.
This is a little
Is
thing.
this question for me? Or
Yeah, it's
Oh.
for all of us.
I mean, yeah, I would say go to the side that's more open to the.
Yes, and you went to the other side.
Oh.
Go to that side. You want to go to the side that's open
okay.
up. This is a small thing, but you want to give yourself every advantage.
Okay.
So they might be looking at you like, oh, he looks like this person who I really like and I worked with, and he could like definitely understudy.
Mhm.
Never turn your back side of your body to them. If you can, keep opened up. Because the
Okay.
audition starts there. They're gonna want to see you.
Yeah.
Okay? You did generally pretty well about being at the piano. Who are you singing to?
I'm singing to myself.
Okay. It looks a little unspecific now.
Okay, and I'm kind of singing to the gods because it's Hercules and he wants to be with the gods. He
Got
wants to
it.
be worthy.
I'm gonna do something really quick with you. I don't know how I'm doing in time. Because right now, I feel like you know what the story is, but you're getting lost in a lot of thrown away arm gestures.
Mhm.
And what you're doing with that is you're taking all the energy you have here and you're throwing it away. You're
Okay.
giving your energy out to nothing.
Mhm.
You want to keep it here.
Okay.
And obviously, we're human beings. We gesture.
Yeah.
But we don't gesture like this.
Yeah.
Okay? And lots of pointing. Okay? I want you to simplify your storytelling. Really think about what you're talking about, and what we're going to do in a second will help that.
Okay.
I want to talk about the vocals again. At the end, you were having a little problem navigating that. Is it because it's early? It sounds like your approach on them is timid
Mhm.
right now, and I think you're getting back on your throat.
Mhm.
I think, can we just go from that musical spot? I think it's towards the end of the song. Can we just do the last 16 bars? I just want to listen to you singing it.
Okay.
And really right now, think about keeping your sound forward and off of
Yeah.
your throat.
Probably.
Yeah, go from there.
Okay.
See. Think about like using your breath, breathing
Yeah.
in your diaphragm, keeping your sound forward, and get it off your throat.
Okay.
This right here is all relaxed, doesn't exist. The work happens here, and you're sending your sound forward.
Okay.
Don't think about sending your sound back. You're sending your sound forward.
Okay.
Okay.
Like a shooting star, I can go the distance. I will face the world. I will face its harms. I don't care how far. I can go the distance.
All right, that's what it
Yes.
is. You're going in on a glottal attack.
Yeah.
Hi, just hi. Get it
Okay.
forward and breathe into it. Okay.
Okay.
Try one more time. And
Okay.
don't glottal. You know what I mean by glottal
Yeah.
attack?
Yeah.
Okay, you're closing off your throat. Keep it open.
Okay.
Even if you want to think but don't do it, think of going in on an I and a little bit of an H. Try it that way.
Okay. Like a shooting star, I can go the distance. I will face the world. I will face its harms. I don't care how far. I can go the distance.
Good work on it. No, that's something to work on.
Yeah.
Vocal coaching. I think it's working at your technique, but you want to keep that sound forward. And right now, you're just closing your throat.
Yeah.
Okay, no, it's fine. That's what you're here for. You're here to work on that stuff. So, real quick, I know we're probably running out of time. Need a partner. Noah, you two grab chairs, real quick, and just face each other. And face it. So, Noah, your back is to me, just so I can see John's face. Great. So, I want you. Let's take it away from what you had built up that you're telling it to yourself and your gods. Let's say you're telling it to a friend. And I want you just to have a conversation with this. I don't want you to think about arm gestures or anything. I want you to just discuss probably stop you.
Okay.
Okay?
Beginning?
From the beginning, sure.
Okay, cool.
Just having a normal conversation. And for you, Noah, you don't need to give verbal responses or anything. Just be present in the moment, react to what he's saying silently. Okay?
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's welcome will be waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, "This is where I'm meant to be," and I won't look back. I can go the distance and I'll stay on track. If I can be strong, I know every ride will be worth my while. Till I go the distance, I'll be right where I belong.
Alright, good. Stop. Was that more interesting, Emily?
Yes.
Why?
You can say no.
It was definitely like more interesting, but also I think that he's still holding himself back. Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Of course, you're nervous, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, this is a nervous situation.
But I
Yeah.
think like especially if like you're just sitting here like having a conversation, like literally pretend like you're not singing and just like, cause you have a great voice, like you're just holding yourself back right now, like just pretend like it's not a song and just pretend like you're having this conversation and like you have been training your voice to like operate this way, so just like let it do its thing and then just like focus more on the conversation. Cause right
Okay.
now it's like there's still moments where you're like you can physically see it on your face.
Well,
like,
yeah, because what you do is you start to think about your technique and you look up to the right. You,
just don't think about it. There's nothing. We're just it's acting.
yeah, and that's tricky at this point of your training too, but that is where you want to eventually get it to. When you go in there, like your vocal technique is so strong you don't have to think about it. It's complete muscle memory. So that's the goal. Yes.
Not to say that it always works out. Like I crack all the time, but then I'm thinking if I'm motivated, who cares?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
That's true. Yeah. So for now, like still sing in a healthy way, but let's go on in the song from where we left off, Laura, but just really have that conversation. And anytime you like really feel like checking in or you're nervous, don't be. This is a safe space, nothing to be nervous about. I say you don't really learn unless you make mistakes.
You're right.
You know what I mean? And this is the space to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Because then we'll learn from them and get better.
Mhm.
Yep, okay. So let's pick it up. What's a good place to pick it up from?
Second verse, Down an Unknown Road.
Sure.
Right.
Down an unknown to embrace my fate, though that road may wander will lead me to, and 1,000 years would be worth the wait. It might take a lifetime, but somehow I'll see it through, and I won't look back. I can go the distance, I will stay on track. No, I won't accept defeat. It's an uphill slope, but I won't lose hope till I find my hero's welcome. The rumors complete.
Good. No, that was generally better. When you're thinking of things in a new way, the lyrics will go right out the window.
Yeah.
That's completely normal. Okay, that was really, really well done.
Thanks.
Okay, how am I doing on time?
You have about 15 minutes.
Oh, great. Okay, so let's lose the chairs. Let's lose the chairs. And with that feeling in mind, John, now replace it and have a conversation with yourself.
Okay.
Okay, and simplify it.
Okay.
And I know we talked about the vocal parts that are giving you a little bit of problems right now. I don't want you to worry about that at all.
Okay.
Don't even think about it. Just get lost in the story of this, okay? Have a true conversation with yourself.
Okay.
Okay. And so what's a good place to pick it up from where we left off?
We just stopped at the second ending, but we could go, I don't know, come here, Jack, for a sec. Do you want to like here at the second ending, or?
Sure. Or we could go there.
Okay,
Okay.
that works.
drink water? Do it.
I don't have any water.
Oh.
I'm ashamed. It's okay. Ready?
Okay.
But to look beyond the glory is the hardest part, for a hero's strength is measured by his heart. Like a shooting star, I can go the distance. I will face the world. I will face its harms. I don't care how far. I can go the distance till I find my heroes walk away your I will face the world. I will take its harms till I find my heroes waiting in your
Better. More interesting to watch. For you guys, was that more interesting to watch?
Yeah, definitely.
It is. And also, let me ask you first.
Okay.
How did that feel?
It felt better.
Why better?
I was more focused on this than this.
And was it easier? Was it physically easier to
Yes.
do? Yeah, you're exhausting yourself.
Yeah.
And is it when someone's working that hard they don't need to, it's exhausting for an audience too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was way more at ease watching you and getting lost in the story.
Okay.
Well, now let's take it a little next level for you to work on as you work on this more.
Mhm.
What are you specifically, John, telling the story of? Why are you saying you need to go to the distance? And if it's something very personal, you don't have to be very specific about it.
Just the fact that I think I'm talking about.
You think or you know?
I am talking
Yes.
about. I'm encouraging myself that I can do this theater thing and I can grow and be the best that I can be and be successful.
Great. And what feelings does that conjure up in you?
Encouragement.
Encouraging yourself? Okay.
Yes.
What else?
Uplifting. I don't know. I'm running out of adjectives.
Does maybe that journey cause you a little bit of anxiousness?
Yes.
Okay. Let's throw that in there.
Okay.
And excitement?
Mm-hmm.
And doubt?
Yes.
Okay. You need to take that journey when you do this song next time.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, it's sounding good. You hit that note, by the way. Good job.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was better. That was best you've done it, so it's getting there. It's going to get there. So you've got to explore those to tell a clear story. So when you go back and subtext this and break down your acting beats, find those moments where you can have some self-doubt.
Okay.
And find those moments where like, no, like maybe the self-doubt leads into no, I'm not going to think that way, I'm going to encourage myself.
Mhm.
I will go the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Really good job, John.
Okay, thank you.
Good? All right.
Oh, a lot.
Okay, good. Go back in the room.
Oh,
We got a little extra time, so everyone's back to the spot.
But I should have said a lot. I feel like.
Okay, I'll give you a scenario that will happen sometimes. So go out of the room.
Okay.
Okay, great. We're not gonna want to hear her song choice. We're gonna want to hear something else. And we're gonna see it. That will happen. That's happened to me multiple times. So we'll see how she reacts to that. Okay? All right, go ahead, Antonio. Let her in. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. What are you gonna do for us today?
Am I coming in and
This is an actual audition.
But am I singing like the same song?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Come in like you've never been in here. This is the audition all over.
Yeah, okay,
Take two.
okay.
Okay. Hi there. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Great. What are you gonna sing today?
I'm gonna be singing what bacon can do for my dress.
Do you have anything else? I'm sorry. Like we've heard that 5 times today.
That's okay. Is there anything specifically like you'd like to hear?
Sure. Do you have anything like upbeat? I don't really care about style.
Okay.
Great. No, that was well done. Here's one thing I'm going to bust you on, though. How do you have your book organized? Alphabetically, by genre, or not?
No, I shoved 3 different folders into one folder last night.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure I had everything in case. Yeah, this is probably that. I didn't have audition book, but it was falling apart, so I could put it in a nicer folder.
Got it. Okay. Listen, I was guilty of this for a long time. Organize your book, so then when that happens, you're not flipping. And if you have it by genre or alphabetically, I think is great. That's the best one, because then you can think, if they don't care what the genre is, they just want to hear something different, you're like, okay, go, and you got it.
I do have a question though.
Yes.
Is it bad that I only sang a cut of it?
No.
Okay.
In that situation, that's just fine. And
Yeah.
honestly, when you go into audition, even when they say they want a full song, they do not want you to do Still of the Quake and Carousel. They don't want to hear a 7.5-minute song. Keep it short, keep it simple. Even a full song, you want to cut it down. My full songs, I would normally take out a verse.
Okay.
Just to get to the meat of it, okay? But that was really well done.
Thanks.
Nice adjustments. Great. Okay, so you guys can go sit back down over there.
No, don't be mad.
I'll clean up after, don't worry about it. So,
all of my coachings today.
I'll say this. What do you guys think the hardest character to play is?
Wait, what do you mean?
In theater, in life. What is the hardest character to play?
Someone you can't relate to.
Yourself.
Oh.
It is so hard to be your best self when you walk into an audition. That's tricky, okay? I know when I used to walk into auditions, there's another student in your class who used to do this, they'd walk in and just be like, I didn't know what to do with myself. And that's so hard. Like, I get super nervous. I get stage fright. I learned how to overcome that, but to learn how to just be your best self. Like, for you, no, I'll bust you. You're young. But you did. Like, I know you from rehearsals and working with you otherwise. You're, like, always happy and good, but you came in the room and instantly, like, a dark cloud was following you.
Yeah.
You want to you want to be this guy all the time. Like, and you need to find that. Honestly, in auditioning, I think the work you do up here, that's the easy part. That's what you prepare for. That's controlled. What's uncontrolled is when you walk in, what's happening at the table, they could be having a bad day. Like the director of Tommy, I auditioned for him for Jersey Boys, Des McAnuff. He's crazy to audition for. He said nonsense words, super nice guy, but he kept saying a wop bop a loobop for some reason, and I was like, didn't know how to deal with that. I mean, but you have to be, yes. He asked me what song I was singing, and he was like, wop bop a loobop. Yeah, like, I don't sing that in that song, but that's just fine. So, you've got to be ready for the uncontrolled, and I think that's just life, okay? Just approach it like it's life, and it is. It's just an interview. And like I said before, I hate the word brand, but you need to start understanding yourselves. And especially as freshmen, you're gonna get that as you go on. Like Emily, I think you're doing a great job of starting to understand your type. I mean, I really do. Like, no, you come in, I'll totally bust you. When we did auditioning and acting the song, Emily had a penchant for swearing in every audition she went into, no matter what scenario we
I
gave
still
her.
do it. I'm gonna be
You
honest.
didn't do it today though. I was actually kind of proud.
For Tommy.
Did you do it for Tommy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Okay, well, you controlled it today. So, and also it will get easier with age too. You'll become more comfortable in your own skins, and auditioning will become easier. But yeah, you guys are great. Thank you so much. So, do you have any questions for me? No?
No.
Okay. I mean, we are having pizza soon, so thank you.
Yeah.
So, okay. Thank you very much.
That was
This has been
fun.
fun.